directly. It doesn't take place right after the first one, but you could watch Dawn of the Dead and not see the first one at all, because it's like a totally different movie. And it's about these people in the zombie holocaust, and you know, they don't know what to do. It's the end of the world, and they end up in the shopping mall as their last place of hiding out before they get killed or whatever. But it's a great George Romero movie. I enjoyed it, and that's what we're here. We're going to talk about the film, and if we like it, if we don't like it, how many coffee cups, and so forth. So I give Dawn of the Dead, I give that 5 coffee cups. That was an excellent film in every sense of the way. A little outdated. If you watch it now, it's kind of outdated because as you can see it, you can tell it's 70s. You know, from top to bottom 70s. Even the makeup, they're all in blue, and they don't. You know, it's not, the makeup is not really, because it's one of early Tom Savini films, but it's just great. If you could just bypass that it's a really old film, you'll really enjoy it.
That man never changes.
Tom Savini?
Tom Savini. He never changes. It's like, you know, if you watch all of his films or look at all of the behind the scenes from Dawn of the Dead to Friday the 13th, he never changes. This dude never grows old. Seriously.
But he should have stayed as a makeup artist.
Oh yeah.
I don't like him as an actor. I like him as a makeup artist.
I mean, he has good points as an actor. If you've seen Dusk Till Dawn, he played that badass.
Yeah, I know,
Mike.
but I still
you
don't
know,
like him.
Still ends up dying, but you know.
I saw him in what's that movie? Lost Boys. I think it was Lost Boys 2.
Yeah.
I saw him in that one.
Yeah.
I mean, he died in the beginning of the film anyway too, but he's a good actor somewhat. But I'd rather prefer him as a makeup artist.
I guess you get paid a lot of money to die early in the film.
All right, so what do you think of Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, I've always loved Dawn of the Dead. I'm probably one of the few people that I like the remake better.
Yeah?
Always,
You like the running zombies
I like
better?
the running zombies better. It's just more, I'm not going to say realistic, but more action-packed having them run. I never understood the whole slow zombie.
But if there's like thousands of slow moving zombies, you know, you're going to get caught either way. And plus, zombies, they shouldn't be running. They should be walking because they're dead. Their bones are all fucked up. If they're running, they're gonna collapse all the piece by piece. You know?
They're rotting, right? They're
Right,
like
they're
a
rotting.
enormous
Their bones
mold,
are not even-
right?
Try telling the directors from 28 Days Later. That's where the first movie you saw the zombies running.
Yeah, But if George Romero says that his zombies don't run and he doesn't want them to run, then if he's the godfather of zombies, then we got to listen to him. They shouldn't run. You know, you're going to be outnumbered anyway. Eventually, you're going to get caught. So the running thing just doesn't matter. But the new version of Dawn of the Dead, I did like it too. You know, for what it's worth, I did like it. I wish they would have stayed in the shopping mall more, like they did in the first Dawn of the Dead movie. But they didn't. They were out of there, in and out, like nothing. All right. What do you think of Dawn of the Dead?
What I thought about it? Dawn of the Dead, I mean, it's funny because it's the first horror movie I saw. And
The first horror movie?
the first movie I saw in the movie theater.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, you
you
watch.
saw it in the movie theater?
Yeah.
Damn, I saw mine's on video.
But that's why Dawn of the Dead, I think it's like, it just really is a special movie. Only because it's the first movie I saw that really traumatized me. And what happened was, my older brother hates the story because I blame him for, but he took me to see it. And the thing with Dawn of the Dead, when it came out, it wasn't a rated R movie.
Right.
The movie did. It was no one under 17.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, it was no. And back in the early 80s, movies, horror movies would be like double features,
Yeah.
So he took me to see it, and the first one wasn't Dawn of the Dead. It was Mother's Day.
Oh man,
Mother's Day
two
was-
back-to-back
Mother's Day
traumatizing
was
movies.
really bad, and I'm sitting there, and and I was a kid. I was like maybe 10. And I'm sitting there watching this thing, and I'm freaked out of my mind. And my brother's buddy sitting next to me. Movie finished, and I'm like trembling. And he turns to me and goes, "You think that was bad? Wait until Dawn of the Dead starts." And then Dawn of the Dead started, and forget it. I'm like, I had nightmares for weeks, literally. I would make my brother get up in the middle of the night, open the closets to see if there were zombies there. He hated me for that, but I blame him. Why are you taking a 10-year-old kid to see, freaking horror movie? It wasn't even rated R. It was like, But-
Both movies, as a matter of fact, was like unrated.
Yeah. But Dawn of the Dead was just out there, you know? And they were a little bit more lenient back then. It was like Poltergeist. Poltergeist is PG.
Yeah, I know that.
Nowadays.
Nowadays, if they were to show
like,
that should have been PG-13,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
you know.
Borderline horror.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you know
have
what
to
it
put-
is that since Steven Spielberg made it, you know, like he has something to do with it. They says it's Steven Spielberg. Let's just let it slide.
And it was marketed. It was really marketed. Poltergeist was marketed different. It was more
Yeah.
like, I mean, it really felt like, you know, you're going to see like a, you know, I don't know, like a thriller or even a family movie.
Family film. It was like because he was like going to E.T. small little kids and all that stuff. So-
And if you watch Poltergeist back, you know, movie theater, especially back at that time, that movie was terrifying. You know?
Yeah.
First two was
All right. So how many coffee cups you give this one?
What's the highest? What do you guys rate? What's the highest?
5.
I would definitely say 5. It's a classic. It's a classic. You know, it's different than Night of the Living Dead. I don't like Victor said. I don't think it's a sequel in the sense
No,
where you
it's-
know
it's-
it's a separate movie.
Right.
It is. It's a separate movie, and it was great. It was a great film. You know, we were sitting there watching it. You know, it feels a little dated. You know, in terms of just because it is the 70s, but it's still a great horror film. You know, and it's what got me into horror movies, you know, and I love horror movies for that. And I thank my brother for taking me,
No,
even though I would never take my kids. You know, but yeah, you know, it was great. And he was sneaking me into see Friday the 13th, all these movies. You know,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
So if you're watching this, thank you. You know, Dawn of the Dead was great. 5 coffee cups.
How do you like your coffee?
Awesome. You want to check out my shirt?
Oh yeah. You got a shirt here.
I am a huge coffee drinker, and I got this just for.
Awesome.
All right, that should work. Definitely 5 cup.
And
Great
if
film.
if you point in the background, we have a Ghostbuster back there.
Oh,
He's eating his
cool.
food over there.
Ghostbuster having lunch. Okay, now it's my turn to.
All right.
Now my take on Dawn of the Dead.
Go ahead, Ralph.
You know what? I remember seeing this movie in Victor's house when we were kids. Showed it to me, and I sat there and I was amazed by first of all, the makeup and the gore and the graphics. I was like, and for an old movie that it was, and for the mid '80s, for the time that it was, when I first saw it.
You saw it in the 80s, but it was
an older film.
Yeah, it was.
But I couldn't believe the way they made it. I was tuned in, completely tuned in, and I was actually kind of scared myself. I couldn't believe that was when I was truly introduced into the concept of zombieism, if you call it that. You know, the idea of people dying and then getting up again and walking around in their rigor mortis state. And, you know, and it's really terrifying. Oh, thank you so much. You know, it was a great film. You know, the people. I love the mall sequence when they're in the mall and they're pretty much camped out there for a long period of time.
That's what I like about it.
You know, like they really try to get through it for as long as they can until the very end. And it's an amazing movie. One of the main actors we met a little while ago,
Ken Foree.
Ken Foree, great guy. You know, it was great meeting him and really kind of getting a sense from him, you know, about the movie. And the other guy, the newscaster from the beginning of the film.
Right.
You know, him, great guy. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I give it 5 coffee cups as well. It's a good review. You know, what can you say? What bad thing can you say about a movie like that?
A classic.
It's a George A. Romero classic. He is the one who brought in the whole concept of zombies. And even though people have distorted and changed and done different things with that concept throughout the last couple of decades, he remains still to this day the main reference, the main point person for zombie films. All right, so definitely catch it, definitely see it. See the remake. I love the remake too. I'll give that one 4 coffee cups because you know I have this thing about remakes. But you know they're both good. So you know, here's to you, George A. Romero. Very good.